straight to variables, and it gets interesting here. To begin, I'll create a simple variable. Of course, we know that variables are like containers, they hold values. And this I'll call my name. I'll assign the value Olamide to my name. So if I want to print this, or if I want to get the value Olamide back, what I'll do is I simply type in the variable name, which is my name in this case, or I use the print function, then pass in the variable name, my name, like this. And pressing Ctrl Enter would give us this nice output. Also, I can have more values to a variable. For example, I'd say my brother or my brothers, yeah, and I assign their names to this. So if I want to get their name printed out, or if I want to see the value which I've stored in the variable my brothers, I simply print it out. Press enter, or you can use print. You can do that yourself. Now, let's get this right. If we move down to the environment window here, the environment pane, we'll notice we have values here. We see that this here is the global environment. This means that these values is available to everything in the current R section. Remember the analogy used in the last lesson of a home. Now, so the global environment here is the spaces that is open to everybody in the house. That's the living room, the toilet, the kitchen. Everybody can access any of these places at any point in time. Now, I'll introduce the local variables and we'll see the distinction and also see how it is different from the global variable. I'm going to add one more global variable, and I'll call this my age, and that's 29. For the local variable, I'll create a function. Do not stress about that. We're going to cover more on function in the next lesson. I'll create a function. I'll call this function print user information. So what this function would do is to take our name, it will greet us, it will tell us our current age, and it will tell us how old we'll be in the next 5 years. To create a function, you use the function keyword followed by parentheses. Then we have the curly brackets. What this parenthesis does is it holds the parameters for your function. That means the values that you want to act upon. So for this, I will say username, that's the parameter. Also user age, that's another parameter. So that's 2 parameters for now. So I will save username. I'll say user is equal to username. Then we have age is equals to user age. Now the greeting would be very simple, but before that, we want to get our age in the next 5 years. Don't forget that. So age 5 years, and that would be age plus 5. What we'll do now is we take all this information and we want it to give us a nicely printed output greeting us. So we take the function paste 0, which is used to concatenate. This is not too complicated, but I'll break it down. What paste 0 does is it combines values together. This is a string in itself. We covered this in data types. And user here is the value for user which we have here. So whatever value that we have from username, which we impute in this part, the argument that we impute for this parameter username is represented with user. And so whatever the value is will be printed here, and whatever the value of age is also will be printed here, and the same goes for age 5 years will be printed here. So now we can test our function. Of course, we can simply just print user information to see what we have. You see that we have exactly the same thing which we imputed here. We are going to test this with my name, print user information, and I have my name. That will be the username, and my age will be the user age. And if I enter this, we have ID Olamide. I had you at 29 years. That means you'll be 34 from now. Okay, I need to change this. Okay, now we have this ID Olamide. I had you at 29. Yes, that means you'll be 34 5 years from now. Whoosh, the pressure. That's a lot of pressure, but it's fun growing old. One thing we should note is we have this printed nicely. We can access the value of my name easily. What about the value of age 5 years from now? See that we get an error object age 5 years not found, and that's because age 5 years is only available within this environment. That means it's only available inside the function. print user information. So it is local only to that function. While all the values here, it's what is local to the whole environment. It is global. Call it the international variable. All the functions, all the variables that we have in here, they are the local ones. They don't travel out. They do not leave their country. They do not leave their domicile. They just stay only in that place. So this is a great and a good distinction of local variables and global variables. Global variables can go into any space and it can come into any space. For example, I can decide to include my brothers, which is here, which is a global variable, into this function. And I will simply do this. I'm not going to assign it to anything. I will simply do this. Now, once I print this, you'll see that the value of my brothers is nicely printed. Let's note that we do not assign anything here for this my brother's value, and also it's not having a parameter to which we can tie the values to. So once I press enter and I print this, you see we have idea Olamide. I had you are 29, that means you will be 35 from now. His brothers are Paul, Emmanuel, and Isaac. So I hope you understand the distinction between local and global variables. Global variables is available to every spaces. It's call it the international guy. It goes into every room. It's like and accessible by everyone. While local variables are the private guys, and they only stay in their locality. They do not come out to you. You go to them. See you in the next lesson where we discuss about functions properly.